Alright, y'all, this is the first time ever me testing out this Ford Performance handling pack. I think there's no stages, just one stage. Literally haven't driven the car since I put this thing together. It took forever. What else to say about it? If you don't know what it is, I don't blame you. Here are some of the things that it includes. Anyway, let's go for a drive on the street for now and see what difference it made. This is also the very first time running 550 oil. So here's something pretty weird and obvious, but maybe not so obvious. You know, I've had this thing for a while. The kit only says that it lowers the car by about an inch, but the whole car feels smaller around you because of that drop. I mean, maybe if you never driven one before, it wouldn't be very noticeable to you, and I would get that. But if you had this for a while and you just did this upgrade, you'll definitely feel it. Obviously, not going to be able to do a whole lot on the street in terms of, you know, really driving it super hard, but let's just see. So just for reference, I have the front sway bar in the soft setting and I have the rear in the stiff. I haven't driven this thing for a while. You forget how numb the steering is. It's horrible. Even my old Audi wagon, you feel something through the wheel. This is just like, you know, the best feeling I can describe it if you put it in sport. Take a spoon and put it into like a jar of honey. It's heavy, right, to like twist it in there, but it still doesn't feel connected to anything, and that's kind of how the steering feels. You know, so far the car doesn't feel that different. It doesn't feel bouncy, it doesn't feel stiff, it does feel a lot lower, just right off the bat. Other than that, it feels pretty standard. Hopefully the camera picks up a little bit of whine. That's my MT82 after 12 track days. It's still there. Get used to whine even when the car had never been tracked before, so go figure. The one thing I forgot to mention about this whole pack is that you don't need to actually align the car. Now, I would assume that it'd be recommended to, but you don't need to. You don't have to actually align the car, which is kind of crazy to think about it because you're technically not changing any arms of your suspension. You're only changing the actual shocks and struts and springs and sway bars. That doesn't have an impact on your alignment, which I didn't know. But look, the car drives straight. Does it feel much different? It feels that much stiffer, honestly. And it feels like it tramlines even more than it used to. A lot of it probably has to do with my tires, I think. Put in the numbers for you. I would say from where I'm sitting with my butt, you know, sensor, this is a maybe 15% increase in harshness in the way you ride. Maybe. Like it's that subtle. It's really not that bad. I also have smaller wheels with quite a bit of tire, right? So these are only 18s with a pretty, you know, good profile tire, like a little bit of meat on them. Maybe that helps with the ride as well. So if you're riding, you know, 20s with this much of a cushion in terms of your rubber, I would expect it would actually make a lot more difference in terms of harshness. But this feels good. Honestly, you could 100% daily this if that's your thing. It's weird. This car steering is really fast, but really numb. It sounds good though. It hasn't broken down yet. Point terminal. the only like 3 turns in the entire of Jacksonville. Everything else is like this, you know. One thing I noticed when I was doing that quick shift, the car seems to control that motion a lot better, which in theory is what would help you with you know, the squat and the, I don't know what you call it, nose something, but in theory that should help you a little bit with understeer. That's the one thing I really hate handling wise about this thing. When you hear a crisp downshift stuff, yeah, oh, she sounds good. Still a lot of oil pressure, boys. I don't know if I need that much. Feel free to fill me in if you know. Probably gonna put, oh, there we go, that's a drop. Idle is 30. Perfect. I think it just needed to warm up a lot longer than a normal, well, my normal viscosity, I should say. So I'm gonna take it easy on the way there just to see if anybody's watching. God, this thing sounds good. You forget. There's a minivan. Woo! Oh man, this is better. This is better. It just doesn't lean as much. I know it seems obvious, but it does not lean as much. Oh, power, man. You do this to power. It does not lean as much at all. It loads up like, and it feels like it's about to roll, pitch and roll, so to speak, but it doesn't. That's awesome. That is really awesome. Let's do a bit of an actual move on the way back. There's no police. It looks like there's oil in the engine, which is two good things. Okay, let's do this. God damn, this thing is fast. Stiffer? Still, yeah, for sure. Let me just be honest about that. I think this is a compromise for those who don't want to buy cheap, crappy coilovers, or also for those who, you know, daily their car and then occasionally maybe take it to the track or up in the canyons, which is, let's be honest, I don't know why I turned it off. Let's be honest, there's a lot of people like that. Now, does it feel on the street like an amazing track setup? It feels better, no question, but it doesn't feel like it's motorsport stiff, because it's just not. Now, I will say that with this motion, back and forth motion, I feel like there's been a lot of help with that right off the bat. With this motion, there's still some, and it feels like it kind of does now, where it used to roll to one side and kind of wobble, if you will. I don't know. You've driven one of these hard, you probably know what I mean. Kind of, it loads up that side, and because it's so high in the air and because it's so soft, everything flexes and kind of does that, walks around. Now it feels like this, just as opposed to 5 steps to this process. It just loads up one side. You feel that you loaded up. You feel a little bit more in control, and go in. It does not feel. I hate saying that out loud. It does not feel like a 1LE. It does not feel like a Miata. Feels pretty good though. Let's call that a video. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have, the next one I will hopefully have a chance to actually review it at the local track. Thanks very much.